Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This week's episode will be about looksmaxxing, so if you want to scroll off now, I don't blame you. We can talk again next week when the conversation isn't so brain rot. But for now, I really want to talk about looksmaxxing. I feel like it just keeps coming up, like on a serious level and just like a funny making fun of it level, but it just keeps coming up in conversation for many reasons. First of all, on a very serious note, I think I am a looksmaxxer. Like if I really add up everything that I do in a day that's solely dedicated to looking better, it's probably 2 hours of my day. Like in all seriousness. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I eat a spoonful of coconut cult yogurt because I heard on TikTok that it helps debloat you and it makes your stomach flatter. That's the first thing I do in the morning. When I go in the shower, I wash my face. I use a special shampoo and conditioner that will help tone my hair since I get highlights. I use a gloss once a week that sits for 10 minutes to make my hair extra shiny. I get out of the shower. I put in a bunch of other sprays into my hair to make it softer and frizz free. And then I take 30 minutes to blow dry my hair. And then I do my skincare routine. My skincare routine is on the more tame side. I just use a serum and a moisturizer, but then I do use a gua sha and I rub my face until it's red to make myself more snatched. Sometimes I even use a microcurrent device and literally shock my face, my new face, to make my face extra snatched. What else do I do? I whiten my teeth. I shave my face with a little face shaver to get rid of any sign of dark hair on my face. I do my makeup. That's another like 20 minutes just doing my makeup. Sometimes I put eye drops in my eyes to make my whites more white. I'll go to Pilates. I'll go on a walk. Like, there's so many things that I do just on a daily basis that have become just subconscious. Like, they're just part of my life now. But if you really think, like, why am I doing all these things? They offer nothing to me other than making myself look better. Maybe some things are healthy for me, like Pilates and walking and coconut cult and eating healthier. Like, those are technically good for my health. But is that why I'm doing them? So yeah, I came to the realization that I am in fact a looks maxer. Like, I literally do things just to maximize my looks every single day. But I think most girls can relate to that. Like, I think most girls are looksmaxers. We all do these things, a good majority of us. And if you even think about the stuff that we like consume online, all of the stuff that we're watching from influencers, anything that we're seeing on the internet, like 90% of it is all focused on improving our appearance, whether it's outfit inspiration, hair recommendations, makeup recommendations. It all goes down to like things that have to do with what we look like. A really huge majority of it. And this has always only been something that like girls fixated on. Like, beauty standards always hit girls a lot harder. Like, a guy could have a dad bod and be like the most average guy ever and like still pull the most famous beautiful girl ever. Like, that's a tale as old as time, that like girls had to fight for their lives to like look the best they possibly can, and men had it so easy, like they could just roll out of bed and they're good to go. That's what's changing now a lot with looksmaxxing. Like, now boys, like boys, especially teenage boys, are getting hit just as hard as teenage girls were. When we were teenagers, I'm 27 now. The first content I've ever consumed on the internet were makeup tutorials, hair tutorials, nail tutorials. On Tumblr, it was like all body related, like how to make your body hourglass and as skinny as possible. Everything online was appearance related for girls. Everything. Even I remember just like going to the dentist or the doctor and waiting in the waiting room and reading through the magazines, even the kids magazines, like the 17 and the teen magazines. When you flipped through them, everything had to do with appearance. It was like how to dress for your body type, who wore it better, how to make your hair lighter in the sun. Everything had to do with your looks, even if it was innocent on like how to do your makeup with your skin tone. Even though that seemed innocent, it did program our brains to like only think about our appearance all the time, whereas the boy magazines were about like Legos and games. But that's what's shifting now. Like even teenage boys now are being hit with beauty standards and being made to think that their appearance is the most important thing. And if they don't have the perfect facial ratio, that it's over for them. It's even more extreme, I think, actually. Like girls, we knew that we wanted to be pretty and that we wanted to do things to look our best and like look like Selena Gomez or whoever was famous at the time. I don't think it was ever how it is with this like looksmaxxing thing now. I don't know if you guys even know this. I think I'm like more on the brain rot side of the internet. And I also have a younger brother and I have lots of younger male cousins. So I feel like I know a lot more about all this than maybe the average girl my age does. But it's actually a lot more serious and scary than you guys might think it is. Like, I know we all know who clavicular is, and that, like, you might think it's a joke, like it's a meme. But the sad truth is, like, a lot of young guys take it very seriously, and they seriously think like it's over for them. Like, they have no reason to even attempt life because they weren't blessed with the genetic lottery of looking perfect, and they need to go to Turkey to get these life altering surgeries, or else it's over for them. Like they're not worth living if they don't have these perfect features. It's that severe. Like they're hitting their faces with hammers and they want these surgeries to fix things that they were never even insecure about in the first place until this really creepy weird side of the internet is telling them that they need to be insecure about it. And the weirdest thing about it all is the way like their final end goal to look like is something that I don't think girls are even attracted to. It's like I don't even know who they're doing this for. It's really confusing. I honestly feel really bad about it because like I said, I have so many younger siblings. I have a younger brother. So the fact that there's some freaks online that are trying to convince young men to hate themselves like this and make themselves think that like their appearance is the most important thing about them. Like no, have them focus on work. That's what they're for. They should be focusing on work and making money and like being a man and like learning how to build and fix cars, not having perfect jawlines. So yeah, I actually feel very strongly about this. I'm quite sensitive when it comes to the whole topic of appearance and like I would never judge someone's appearance and I honestly like don't even really like to consume that content that much. Like I know right now it's a big thing online. Like everyone's trying to get super skinny, like in the girl world at least. I don't know what's going on in the guy or in the guy looksmaxxing world, but I feel like in the female world right now, the thing is like everyone wants to get as skinny as possible. And I really am one of those people that, like I see in comments all the time, they're like, if you're triggered by this, you should just get off the internet. I am kind of triggered by that stuff because when I was in high school, like when I was a teenager, I really was like very much under eating to be extremely skinny. And I don't want to like be back in that mind space that I feel like I need to do that again. So I understand when I see comments that are like, this is triggering. I know a lot of people say like you're just sensitive, but some things are okay to be sensitive about. Like I personally would never talk about someone's appearance because I know how it affects me when I hear people talking about. That's how I felt with my nose. I was so insecure about my nose when I was a teenager, even though no one was directly to my face telling me, like, Lizzie, your nose is so ugly. Like, I don't think I ever, in my entire life, anyone ever said to my face that I have an ugly nose. I have a big nose. But it was such a popular insult at the time to tell people they have a honker and they have a witch nose and they have a hook nose and their nose is huge. Like, it was getting thrown around so much that I was thinking people must be thinking this about me. And it stemmed from just hearing people talk about appearance so much. So that like I understand how that works now. Like I would never talk about an ugly feature around someone. Even if it's like I feel like people think it's justified to make fun of appearance if that person did something bad to you. Like if you went on a date and then the guy ghosted you. So then you make a post about it and you're like, oh, well, he was short and had a big nose anyway. Even though that guy did you wrong and you want to like get back at him, the chances that he's even going to see that, slim. The chances that other guys that have those features are going to see it and we're just innocent bystanders. Now you're digging their cut deeper when like they didn't even do anything to you. So that's why I always stay like, I won't talk about appearance because I know what it feels like to hear people talk about something and like make fun of something that you're also insecure about, and you're just like sitting there quietly holding it back even though you know you also have that feature. And then if they do see you get insecure about it, they're like, oh, not you though. So that's why when it comes to appearance and stuff, I feel like the best thing to do is just like not talk about it. So another thing that I did to Looksmaxx, when I was 20, I did get a nose job, and that was something that I had been thinking about for like 6 years at this point. I don't know, whenever I first developed my nose, like in middle school, it was all I thought about every single day. It consumed so much of my brain just thinking about my nose and how insecure I was and how much I hated it. And I couldn't sit next to people. I couldn't take pictures from certain angles because all I could think was like, oh my God, they're going to see my nose. They're going to see my side profile. So when I did decide that I wanted to have surgery, well, I decided that a long time ago. I think I decided since I was like 14 that I'm going to get surgery. The issue was more just like getting my parents to agree to it and like being old enough to do it and having money to do it. But I always knew I wanted it. So that decision came very easily. And when I did do it, I honestly think it did like solve a problem for me. Like I stopped thinking about it every day. Do I think I have a perfect, beautiful nose now and I like love my nose so much? No, but it did remove that insecurity from my brain. I no longer even think about it. Like it doesn't even cross my mind when I'm sitting next to someone or if I see someone taking pictures. I'm like, "Oh no, I can't be to the side." Like it doesn't even cross my mind anymore. So for that reason, I am happy that I did it and I don't regret it in the slightest because it did like solve a problem for me. I no longer stress about something so stupid every day and I can use that brain power to like think about other things instead of just like constantly thinking about the same thing all day and like also holding myself back. Like I wouldn't even do certain things because of my appearance and I was insecure that I would be caught in a picture or something. So I do think in some situations like getting surgery can actually be like a really good thing. I think it's gotten to the point now though that people are getting surgeries for things that they weren't even that insecure about. They just saw other people doing it and they're like, "Oh, I could do this surgery to look even better." But it was never even a deep insecurity. And I think that's where it can get like super toxic, just like constantly chasing looking better all the time. And that's when people also start looking the same. And I know I'm not really one to talk because I did get a nose job and I have gotten lip filler. I'm even guilty when it comes to lip filler. I was never insecure about my lips. Were my lips ever big? No. But when I was in middle school and high school and even college, I never looked at myself in the mirror and thought like I hate my lips. My lips are so small. My lips were never something I thought of. But then when I graduated and I was like working and making money and I saw like everyone's getting lip filler, I was like, I could go for like half a syringe. Like it'll make me look better. And now I feel like I need it. Like I haven't gotten filler in a year and I've been looking at myself and I'm like, whoa, my lips are small. Like I really need to go back, which is crazy because I used to never think they were small, but now I've grown accustomed to my filled lips that now my natural lips are an insecurity to me and I feel like it doesn't look proportional with my face because I got so used to seeing bigger lips on my face. So I'm learning from experience and I'm gonna see like how long I can go. Maybe if I just keep going without filling them, like I'll get used to these lips again and it won't be something that I even want to get. It's honestly like a really toxic cycle. There are plenty of things that I do to look better that I don't feel guilty about because I do think to some level like it's a good thing to try to improve your appearance and like try to better yourself. Like working out, having good hygiene, dressing nicely, looking clean, smelling good, having good teeth health, flossing twice a day, whitening your teeth, wearing sunscreen, using products to make your hair look healthier. Like, those are all things that I don't think you should feel guilty about doing. And I do think they do like improve your life. Like, you look more put together. People look at you at work or wherever you're going and they're like, yeah, that person has their life together. Like, they shower in the morning and they have good hygiene and they look put together. I feel like people do treat you better. That's a known thing. We all know about that. Like, you get treated better when you look better. Pretty privilege is a very real thing. But even if you don't go as deep as like saying pretty, like just looking better in general does give you a privilege. If you show up to work dressed nice and clothes that fit well and you smell good and you look clean and you have clean new shoes on, you will be perceived differently than if you show up with messy hair, chapped lips, and you wear the same outfit 3 days in a row and you kind of smell like you will be treated differently. And you also will feel better about yourself when you do all those things in the morning to like look and feel your best. So I'm not saying that like looksmaxxing is a bad thing. I think when it gets so extreme, that's when it's like really dangerous. Like the things that Clavicular and those guys are doing, that's when it gets scary. And also when you're being convinced to have insecurities that you never even had before, I think that's where like the internet can like get really toxic. I'm definitely a victim to it myself. Another thing that I was never insecure about is my chin. Like the fat under my chin, never insecure about it. But now that I know that you can just go get chin lipo and like everyone's getting chin lipo like it's candy, now I'm like, I want chin lipo. Not that I'm gonna get it. It's like so expensive for such a tiny little procedure, but now I like can notice. Like, I notice the difference on my chin versus a girl who has chin lipo. Her jaw looks snatched all the time from any angle. She has no double chin. And now I like notice my double chin more. I'm like, oof, like I see it hanging. Another thing that has been kind of triggering like my desire to like do everything I can to look better is that I am getting older. I am in my late 20s now. So now I'm kind of more fixating on like the whole like looking younger and anti-aging. I've started using sunscreen now and I started using retinol and I started getting Botox. I stopped already because I realized that Botox is too much to keep up with. And I'm only in my 20s. So if I start getting Botox every month now, that's another like a lot of years that I need to get Botox every month. And like it gets a little crazy. Do I like the effects? Yes. Do I think at my age it's necessary for me to book a Botox appointment every other month to like look slightly more snatched? No. I think that's when I need to get to the point that like I'm okay. I need to just like my face how it is and accept that I am aging and I'm not going to look the same that I did at 22 for the rest of my life. I do need to start soft launching with myself that like I am going to start looking different. You know, like every year I am going to start looking a little older every year, and like that's life. I can do everything I want to do to try to fix it, but at the end of the day I am eventually going to look older, so I need to start accepting the small changes now. I feel like talking about appearance and improving yourself is like such an awkward conversation and like people no one wants to talk about too, because now the flex is that you naturally are perfect. That's why so many like influencers and celebrities and people are like lying about stuff they do, because now that everyone is looking great, like everyone's doing all of these things to look their best, now it's like not as special to look good, you know, because like everyone kind of does. So now the flex is that you naturally look like this. So that's why so many people are like keeping it a secret, like keeping their secrets, how they look like this. No one wants to admit they're on Ozempic. No one wants to admit they get Botox. No one wants to admit they get filler. They want it to seem like it was just so effortless. So that's why I feel like it's kind of like embarrassing to even talk about all the things that you do to look better, because no one's doing that. No one wants to do that. They want it to seem like I just naturally look like this. And like, you guys have to fight for it. I naturally look like this. It's a tricky cycle. If you guys know me, you know that I love Madison Beer. And a lot of conversation surrounding Madison Beer is that she like is too perfect and that she never lets herself look bad ever. And I never understood this criticism of her because I fully understand it. She's someone that's known to be beautiful. She's literally referred to as like one of the prettiest people alive. And when you already have such a crazy standard of people expecting you to be so perfect and pretty, like I'm sure her stress to look perfect and stay young looking is even more extreme than the average person. And I feel like a lot of girls who like grew up being told that they're like so pretty and they're going to be beautiful when they're older, you also have that same feeling that like everyone already knows you as the pretty girl. You need to keep it up. You need to keep up with that title. You can't let yourself slack. You can't let yourself slip. You need to keep that image. So I never understood why people get on her for that, and I actually think that I slightly have that same issue. Like I'm a content creator, obviously. I record myself almost every day and I can't get on camera looking fully bad. Like I don't have to have a full face of makeup on every time. But before I film, I usually do put some type of lip stain on. I do try to make my hair look a little better. Or sometimes I'll even put this a little mascara on and like curl my lashes to like look more alive, because it is really vulnerable to show yourself to people looking bad, looking in a way that you don't even want to look at yourself. I haven't reached a level yet that I'm okay with like posting myself in a way that I genuinely think I look really bad. Do I think I look like a supermodel in every post I ever made? No, but I've never posted something that I'm like, "Oh, I look bad. Like I don't even want to look at myself. That's how bad I look." I haven't gotten to that level of security yet. Oh, that was another thing that made me think about Looksmaxxing. So I went to this Soul Cycle class last week. It was like in collaboration with a clothing brand. They were promoting their new workout line. So since it's like a brand promotional event, you agree to be photographed. Like you literally sign the consent forms. I've done a few of these. Like I understand they're going to take pictures. What I wasn't expecting was that it was a dark room and they were taking flash photography on professional cameras in the dark room mid workout, like 20 minutes into the workout when you're already like sweating and huffing and puffing. And this class was at 9 a.m. So I didn't wear makeup. I went just like slick back and I changed into the outfit that they made us wear. And that was it. I didn't think I needed to put makeup on to do a Soul Cycle class at 9 a.m. But little did I know, everyone else showed up in a full glam. So when the pictures were coming around, I was like, let me just try to like hide my face. Like if I'm just looking down in every picture, that's fine. They still caught some of me though. And I thought I was fine. I was like, okay, I know I'm like tomato red because when I work out, I get so red and I also can hardly breathe through my nose. So I'm always like, like huffing and puffing through my mouth when I do like intense cardio. So I was like, okay, I know that if I'm in any of these pictures looking like this, they're not going to use them on their site. They're not going to use them on their account. Like I look too bad that I know I won't make the cut. So I didn't. They made all the posts and I wasn't in any of them. I was like, I knew it. I knew they would not post me like looking so bad like that because it looks bad on their behalf. Even like that's how bad I knew it looked, that they wouldn't even post me because it would look bad on their behalf. So I was like, okay, I'm off the hook. A few days later, I get an email from the event and it's a link to the pictures and they're like, hi guys, like here are all the pictures from the event in case you want to share them on your own profiles. Like here they are. I was able to spot myself in every single picture immediately because I was the only beet red face in all of the pictures. All these girls had foundation on, or maybe they just don't get red when they work out. I think I was the only person who went with no makeup on and also was prone to redness. So my face was standing out like a sore thumb. I was beet red. My mouth is wide open. I'm like, my eyes are drooping. My double chins are going crazy. There's sweat going through that. We were wearing this like blue tight set. I see sweat. Like it was horrifying. So once I received these pictures, I immediately did a million face masks. I started gua shaing my jaw for like 2 hours straight because my double chins looked so scary in that picture. I feel like my whole face looked like it was drooping and I looked old. And I was traumatized by these pictures. I've never seen pictures of myself where I looked so bad that it messed with me. It genuinely made me look in the mirror and I was like, "Oh my god. I'm getting ugly. I'm getting ugly and I'm getting old. I need to fix this." I was crashing out over these pictures. So that took that took a moment for me to cool down, and then I was like, okay, this was mid workout class. I have triple chins because I'm on a bike pressing my head back because I'm trying to put my head down to hide my face from these pictures. I know that I get red when I work out. That's fine. I can't change that. I'm not just red and working out all the time. Like, it's fine that I get red sometimes. My face drooping, I think that was just in my head. I was looking at these pictures and I genuinely, like, the way that it looked to me was that my face was melting off. It genuinely looked like my entire face was falling down. Like, I don't know, maybe I was having face dysmorphia. Maybe I'm just not used to seeing myself from these angles when I'm working out on a professional camera. But I was crashing out. I was like so close to booking a Botox appointment. And then I was like, when I look in the mirror at home, when I look in the mirror every morning, am I seeing these things? No. Are they just some bad pictures? Yes. Do I just delete this email off of my phone and never acknowledge it ever again? Yes. And that's what I did. And then I had a nice little glow up day. I gua shed, I new faced, I did a face mask, I took a nice long shower, I drank water, I had a healthy dinner, I went on a walk in a Pilates class the next morning, and then I was like, okay, I'm doing the best that I can. I think that's the most important thing when it comes to your appearance is just accepting that you're doing the best you can. You're doing what you can to look your best. And that's that. I'm not going to change what my entire face structure and my entire body looks like overnight. The most I can do is accept this is me, be confident in it, and do my best every day to better myself slowly, step by step. I can't get reconstructive surgery. I can't get a facelift at 27 years old just because I look droopy in some Soul Cycle pictures. I need to just be like, okay, I am getting older and I am going to look a little older in pictures now than I did 10 years ago. That's life. That's that. There's this really popular saying that's like, just remember we live on a floating rock. And I kind of hate that saying because it doesn't fix anything. Like, yeah, we know we're on a floating rock. That does not change the fact that we have bills to pay and we have jobs to do and lives to keep up with. It doesn't change the fact. Yes, do we know that like we're tiny little things in a huge universe? Yeah, but that really doesn't fix anything. But sometimes when you're stressing over such small things like your skin looking ugly or you gained 5 pounds or you have new wrinkles, when you really do zoom out a bit, you realize it doesn't matter. But it really is true. When I think back to the best times of my life, I'm not thinking like, what did I look like? Was my hair dirty? Was my double chin showing? Did I have oily skin? Did my face look like it was drooping? Like, that's not stuff I think of when I'm thinking of good memories. So that is something that I tried to remind myself. Like, it does seem like the most important thing right now, but it's not as important as you make it. And I also think that the more weight you put on something, this is how I feel about like height. For example, guys with height. Like I said, I come from a short family. So I would never ever make fun of a guy's height because I know that's something you can't change and I know that it's something that men feel very insecure about. So let's just use height for example. Like, don't, if you're insecure about your height, the worst thing you could do is make it the most important thing about you. Why would you want to make something that is your biggest insecurity and something you don't like about yourself the most important thing about yourself? Why is that what you're going to lead conversations with and make jokes about your height every time you have the opportunity to, and mention it when you're taking pictures like I can't be next to him because he's taller, and mention it when you're dating, asking girls heights? You're making that the most important thing about yourself, whereas if you just never mentioned it, no one would be thinking about it as much as you are. But now you're bringing it up, you're making it the most important thing in the room right now. I feel like people do this with acne a lot too. they can't just like start a video or start a conversation or enter something without saying like my skin is so bad right now. And it's like no one would have probably even noticed your skin if you didn't say that. But we have this really bad habit of making our insecurities the most important thing about ourselves all the time. That's how I felt with my nose. I'd be like, oh my God, like you can't take a picture of me from there. My nose will look bad. Meanwhile, like no one would have even looked at me in that picture. So that's just what I'm gonna leave off on. Speaking of like skincare and stuff, my mom the other day sent me a picture of a lotion and said, Lizzie, I just ran out of this face moisturizer. I really like it. Can you order me a full size one? Because it was like a travel size. Who knows where she even got it from? I look it up on Ulta because it was called like CC cream. So I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, she found a CC cream somewhere. It was a hair product. She's been putting hair serum on her face for a good few weeks. She finished this entire travel size thing of hair cream on her face. And I was like, you've been putting hair cream on your face. Is your face like irritated? And she's like, no, it feels really nice. So maybe that just goes to show that all these things that we're being conned into buying don't even do anything. My mom has been putting hair cream on her face for a few weeks and her skin, she said, has been looking better than ever. And it's not irritated or anything. She also does like nothing else. My mom doesn't wear any makeup. She doesn't do anything to her hair. The only thing she's been doing, I guess, is putting hair cream on her face. So I love that for her. And something actually I need to bring up to you guys. I think one of my lizards may be a Nespresso employee because tell me why I went on a rant about an espresso event on the last episode. And the day after that episode got posted, I got an email from Nespresso. Mind you, I didn't tag them. I didn't message them. I didn't email them. I didn't say this anywhere else except on this podcast. Why did they email me saying that they would love to have me at the next event? And it wasn't even like it was coming up soon. Like the next event was in 3 weeks from the point that they emailed me. It was like they had to let me know like we're so sorry that we didn't invite you. We're inviting you to the next one. So I think one of you is keeping a secret from me. I also don't think I'm going to Coachella. Coachella is my favorite part of the year every year. I've gone for the past 3 years. I love Coachella. I look forward to it. But it was a lot easier when I was living in LA because I only needed to like find somewhere to stay for 2 nights. I didn't have to pay for a flight. Now it's just like so much more. Like now I have to fly there. I need to first stay in LA for a few days. Then we need to find out a way to Palm Springs because it would just be too much to fly directly into Palm Springs and home 3 days later. So we have to like make a whole LA trip out of it. We need the Coachella tickets. We need a place to stay in Palm Springs. And this year, the Airbnbs and everything in Palm Springs were ridiculously more expensive than they've ever been. I think because of Justin Bieber, the demand is way higher than it's been in the past. And if you guys know, you know I have FOMO. This is really hard for me, but I think I'm okay with not going. I'd rather just stay home and watch Justin Bieber live on YouTube than like stress myself out. Me and Chris, like we would have to plan this together. Plan this insanely expensive, elaborate trip for what? Like just to say we did it, or I can just stick it out for 3 days. I don't need to go. If everything fell into my lap perfectly and I was offered a house to stay at and offered free tickets and all that, of course I would love to go. But the price that this whole trip would come out to, I just don't think it's worth going just because I have FOMO. So that's a sign of development and growth. Okay. If you see me there in a few weeks, it's because a miracle happened. And funny thing, actually, I used to think that because influencers would always talk about Coachella, like I was invited to Coachella. I thought that you could only go if you were invited, like it was an invite only situation, like it was for influencers and celebrities. You could very much just go. Every time I've ever gone to Coachella, we bought our tickets and booked a house on Airbnb. and like that was that. So I don't know why influencers who like have way bigger budgets made it seem like they can't go unless a brand paid for it. If I had unlimited money, I would rather go just like on my own and pay for my own ticket and pay for my own house and then do whatever I want. The brand trips are kind of a little like, especially at my age, if I was like 21, sure, like I'm fine with staying in a house with a bunch of other 21-year-old girls who like all want to make content together and stuff and like wear matching outfits and go on a party bus everywhere to every event. But that would not be enjoyable for me unless I was like very desperate and really wanted to go and a brand offered that to me. But if you go to Coachella with like White Fox or something, you're literally all together the entire time and you're going by their schedule and you need to be like making White Fox content the entire trip and you're with a bunch of girls who like you probably don't even really know and you're staying in a house with a bunch of other content creators. I don't know. Something about it like doesn't seem that fun. I would much rather just go with like my own friends and stay in a house and do everything on our own schedule and not like be on the behalf of a brand that's like making you do all these things. So I don't know why influencers, especially the huge ones that like have so much money, make it seem like they need to go with a brand. Like it'd probably be way more fun to just go on your own. That's my thoughts on Coachella. Do I wish I was there? Yes. Do I think it's worth like the same cost of an entire month long Europe vacation? No. And that's growth for me. What else is new? The weather has been nice. The weather's been amazing, which is really exciting for me because I think I have seasonal depression. Like I get really, really depressed in the winter. And once the sun's back out, once I can wear my flats again, once I don't need to wear a puffer and snow boots again, like I feel the happiness coming back into my body. I love that I can go on long walks again. Like it just makes life so much better. Okay, I think that's all I have for this week, guys. I know this is probably a kind of weird episode, and I'm sorry for that. Maybe I'll think of something better with more depth next week. But love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.